Hey, good morning, Illinois. Darren Bailey, State Representative for the 109th District. My phone was doing some weird things there. So, anyway, it looks like it is a beautiful Saturday morning, June 1st, across the state. I was fully anticipating being on a tractor this morning, giving you an update as to what kind of a session wrap up, but instead here I am still in Springfield. It's kind of weird being on the farm. Good morning, Brittany. Being on the farm, I've always enjoyed. I've usually, we'll have several tractors running, and it's always kind of been my job to buzz around and keep things going and find the next place to work but anyway, really blessed. My children are doing an awesome job making that happen, and for once I've been looking forward to actually getting back and just being on some of the equipment and letting my children continue the management process as they're doing. So sounds like it's kind of starting to dry up. Hopefully the equipment's a little bigger today, and we can get a little more efficient. We can get more done. So hopefully progress will pick up this next week before some wet weather sets in again. So anyway, still in Springfield, Saturday morning. We were told that to expect to be here for Sunday. I haven't figured the process out yet, so I don't know what to expect. So we were here till about 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. And then several of us went across to the Senate chamber as they debated SB 25 and ended up passing it, the abortion bill that will head to the governor's desk. And friends, about this abortion thing, man, there's just so much misunderstanding. I'm reading your comments, and I'm so blessed that I represent a district that the majority of you know that this is wrong and this has got to be stopped. This is murder. But yet I'm reading the comments. I'm seeing some of you don't believe that anybody actually goes to a Planned Parenthood or a clinic just to get an abortion because they don't want the baby. That's certainly not true. That is exactly what Planned Parenthood, that's what they say, that's why they exist. If you're not ready to be a parent now, then come in and we'll take care of this. Friends, we've got to be responsible with our bodies. This is life. This is life that God created, and I firmly believe, as I do, thank goodness most of our district does, that if we choose immoral choices and aren't responsible with what God has given us, then we pay consequences for that. And so when we look around and we wonder why life is so miserable, where's all this sickness, where's all this disease, where's AIDS epidemics, all these diseases why? Well, it's because we've been irresponsible with what we have. So with that, I want to reiterate July 26th in Effingham and July 27th in Carmi, Abby Johnson from the Planned Parenthood movie, the actual woman that, not the actress that played the part, but Abby Johnson, will be there to tell her story. And please come. Just come and listen. If you're confused, if you don't know if you don't really understand this or you disagree, just come and listen. That's all I ask. So today in Springfield, last night we passed the SB 262, 1,581 page document. I encourage you to look it up on ilga.gov, and you can begin kind of reading it. Basically what happens is Republican leadership, they kind of go back and forth. It's kind of like a bargaining game, like trading a car. The problem is that the other side, they introduce these bad business bills for farmers. They really do. It's a game, and they do an awesome job at staying on top of the process. So they basically, as they are bargaining, there's not a whole lot of bargaining on our side. We're in the super minority, so that makes a sense in and of itself. But about the only chip you've got is they say, well, we need so many votes so we can say this is bipartisan. In order to do this, we will take this bill and this bill and this bill off the table. So it's almost like being held hostage and negotiating for bad stuff to disappear. With that being said, overall, I am amazed. The budget that the House passed last night does not require a tax increase. However, there is a complete lack of major reforms within the budget, and so therefore I voted no on SB 262, the actual full-page document. And then a little bit later, we will be voting on another bill. I don't have that number with me. It's called the Budget Implementation Plan, and so it'll be the revenue portion of it that we'll be looking at to kind of put both of them together. And within that, again, a little frustration. There's a they're looking at a major expansion for gambling. They're looking at the recreational marijuana package as being part of a major revenue source. We sat in committee for many hours and we listened to this stuff, and I mean, it's a net loss because of the law enforcement, the extra regulations that's going to have to take place. And even Colorado and many of the other states are showing that. So they're showing some serious revenue input from recreational marijuana. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to pan out. Like I said, that's a major plan. Otherwise, if it doesn't work out in a year from now, when we're sitting here having this same discussion, we're probably going to be looking at tax increases. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that works out. There's another package to this. It's has to do with Medicaid reimbursement. If you don't look it up, it's SB 689. You look that bill up, and it'll say something totally different, but you got to go down to the amendments and read the amendments to understand what it is. And it's basically a reimbursement process that nets more federal money. The problem with that is the money's got to come from somewhere, so someone is going to have to pay for those taxes, maybe not on the state side, but on the federal side, to recoup this money. So, it's a good idea, it's a good plan for our anyone who's collecting Medicaid. However, it's still tax money, and someone's paying for it. So, anyway, overall, with the budget, things, no business reforms, no sweeping reforms there. Schools are going to get more money. The nursing homes, the early childhood development, a lot of neat stuff in it. It's not a complete disaster. It's just with some of these revenue resources that they're counting on, I'm concerned about, and the lack of reforms. And there's some other stuff. It's still coming out. You know as well as I do. When something's dropped on, I don't know, what was it, 4, 5, 6 o'clock last night, when the actual, the budget was made complete. There's no way anyone can go and dig into 1,581 pages. We have an awesome staff up here on the Republican side, and they really do. They do an excellent job. So what is yet determined, I've read a little bit. I don't fully understand. When the process went through the Senate last night, I believe that it looks like there were more changes made. So anyway, I will keep you updated as I learn more about that. Some good news, the FOID card situation, the fingerprints, they did not make it through the Senate last night, so that's a good sign. One of the Democrat representatives has suggested that we're probably going to see it again this fall. So yeah, Kevin, you're asking if anything's good from this General Assembly. No, not really. I can't think of anything really positive that we did. We've spent more money, which, I mean, it's good to some, but it's got to be paid for. And I I can't get this through. I don't understand how the people in Chicago and the Democrats contend that spending more money is the answer, because it's not, and we know that. But anyway, until then, we just got to keep on keeping on. We've got to get our message out. I was talking yesterday to one of the security men on the down below, these the ex-state police and sheriffs. They're the ones that when you come here to the Capitol and you see them wearing their black jackets and has a security patch on it, they're usually retired law enforcement. So they're the ones that kind of keep the doorkeepers. For the most part, for when we're in session for the House and Senate floor. And he was just sharing a story about his neighbor. He lives up in Chicago, is where his home's at, and how his neighbor was complaining, and as he she was complaining about her real estate taxes. and he was complaining about. He was talking to her about how well, what do you do about it? What do you want to do about it? And so she lives in a district where for years there has not been a Republican challenger. And when that happens, there's only one message that's getting out. And many of you have experienced that. You've read how Governor Pritzker has said 97% of the people are going to see a decrease in your taxes. I've shared with you what those current rates are, and the price of a Jimmy John's sandwich or a dinner at a nice restaurant for your family is going to be about the average of what you're going to be saving a year in taxes with the proposed rates and the current budget. Well, if we keep spending money in 2 years if this progressive tax goes through, the rate's going to change, and people are going to pay more taxes, and that's concerning. So we have to keep ourselves informed, and like I said, so interestingly enough, this conversation that was taking place in a Chicago district, there's no opposition up there. If there's no opposition, there's no other message. You're hearing what you're being fed, and then you believe it. So. That's the problem. We've got to have this conversation. Don't believe everything you hear. I sit in church and listen to men preach, and I don't take things for granted. I go and look things up myself just to verify that I'm being told the truth. And it's exactly the same way with the government. We have to get engaged and learn what's going on, and then. Share the message and talk to others about it and continue to stay informed. So anyway, I think I've talked long enough. It is 10 after 9. Session starts at 10 o'clock today, and I'll keep you informed. If you can get on ilga.gov, you can go down to audio, video, and watch if you're just so tremendously bored to death. But every now and then you ought to click in and just listen to some of the nonsense that we're putting up with and listening to on the floor. So two totally different sides of the story. That's what's, it's a shame that it is that way in Illinois. I don't understand it, but with your engagement, we can change this thing. We can bring common sense back to Illinois. That's what we need. So y'all have a nice weekend. Have a great Saturday morning and afternoon in the 109th District, and I will be in touch with you and let you know what's going on. You can keep tabs on my Facebook page, and if there's any immediate updates, I'll type them in and send them to you. So thank you so much. God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in. God bless Illinois, and God bless the United States of America. Have a great day.